after passing quickly and unperceived through the men on guard and the women servants, I then fled through Hellas till I came to fertile Phthia, mother of sheep, and to King Peleus, who made me welcome and treated me as father treats his only son, who will be heir to all his wealth. He made me rich and set me over much people, establishing me on the borders of Phthia, where I was chief ruler over the Delapians. It was I, Achilles, who had the making of you. I loved you with all my heart, for you would neither had home, nor you would have gone out elsewhere, till I had first set up you up on your knees, cut you daintily more so that you were to eat, held the wine cup to your lips. Many a time have you slaughtered your wine in baby helplessness over my shirt. I had infinite trouble with you, but I knew that heaven had vouchsafed me no offspring of my own, and I made a son of you, Achilles. That is my Howard, the need of you might protect me. Now therefore I say, battle with your pride, and be a cherish not your anger forever. The might and majesty of heaven are more than ours, but even heaven may be appeased, and evil man has sinned. He praised the gods, even heaven may be appeased. He praised the gods and reconciles them to himself by his piteous cries and by frankincense with drink offerings, and the Savior of burnt sacrifice. Your prayers are as daughters of great Zeus, all sprinkled with eyes as hands. They follow in the footsteps of sin, who being fierce and fleet of foot, leaves them far behind him, and never banquet to mankind outstrips them even to the ends of the world. But nevertheless the prayers come hobbling and healing after. If a man has pity upon the daughters of Zeus, when they draw near him, they will bless him and hear him too when he is praying. But if he deny them and will not listen to them, they go to Zeus the son of Cronos, and pray that he may presently fall into sin, to his ruin bitterly hereafter. Therefore Achilles, give these daughters of Zeus due reverence, and bow before them as all good men will bow. Where not the son of Atreus offering your gifts and promising others later, if he will still furious and implacable, I am not that would you throw off your anger and hope that he seems, no matter how great their need, but he is giving much now and more hereafter. He has sent his captains ever to suit, and has chosen those who, that all the Argives are most acceptable to you. Make not then their words and their coming to be of non effect. Your anger has been righteous so far. We have heard and sung how heroes of all time followed when they were roused to fury, but still they could be won by gifts, and fair words could soothe them. I have an old story in my mind, a very old one. You are all friends, and I will tell it. The Eurytus and the Attalians were fighting and killing one another around Calydon, and the Attalians defending the city, and the Eurytus, trying to destroy it for Artemis of the Golden Throne, was angry and did them hurt because Oeneus had not offered her his harvest first fruits. The other gods had all been feasted of hecatombs, but to the daughter of great Zeus alone he had made no sacrifice. He had forgotten her, or somehow or other it had escaped him, and this was a grievous sin. Thereon the archer goddess, in her displeasure, sent a prodigious creature against them, the savage wild boar with a great white tusk that did much harm to his horse or the lands, uprooting apple trees and Paul bloom and throwing them to the ground. The Liger, son of Oeneus, the huntsmen and hounds from the many cities and killed it, for it was so monstrous that not a few were needed, and many a man did stretch upon its funeral prayer. On this the goddess set the Eurytus and the Attalians fighting fiercely about the head of the son of the boar. So long as the leader was in the field, things went rather if it could his, for all the numbers they could not hold their ground under the city walls. But in the course of the third time, the Liger was angry, as even a wise man will sometimes be. He was incensed with his mother Althea, therefore stayed at home with his wedded wife, with her Cleopatra, who was daughter of Marpessa, the daughter of Eunice, and that is the strongest man there living. He was who took his vow and faced king Apollo himself, with her Marpessa, staked her father and mother, then named her Helicone, because her mother had mourned with the plaintive strains of the Heliconian bird when Phoebus Apollo had carried her off from the leader, then stayed at home with Cleopatra, nursing the hanger, which he felt by reason of her mother's curses. His mother, grieving for the death of her brother, prayed the gods and beat the earth with her hands, calling upon Hades, and an awful reproach surviving. She went down upon her knees, and her bosom was wet with the tears as she prayed that they would kill her son. And Aryanus, that walks in darkness and knows no ruth, heard her from Erebus. Then heard the din of battle about the gates of the Calydon, and the dull thump of the battering against their walls. Thereon the elders of Attalians but sought the leaguer. They sent the chiefest of their priests, and begged him to come out and help them, promising him a great reward. They bade him choose 50 gates, and most fertile on the plain of Calydon, and the other one half vineyard, and the other open plowland. The old warrior Oeneus implored him, standing at the threshold of his room and beating the doors in supplication. His sisters and his mother herself besought him sour, but he the more refused them. Those of the comrades who were the nearest and dearest to him also prayed him, but they could not move him, till a foe was battering at the very doors of his chamber, and the Eurytus had scaled the walls and were setting fire to the city. Then at last the sorrowing wife detailed the horrors that befall those whose city is taken. She reminded him how the men are slain, and the city is given over to the flames, while the women and the children are carried into captivity. When he heard all this, his heart was touched, and he donned his armor to go forth. Thus all his own inward motion he saved the city of the Attalians, but they now gave him nothing of those rich rewards that had offered earlier, and that he saved the city he took nothing by it. Be not then my ships are burning, it will be a harder matter to save them. Take the gifts and go for the Achaeans, let them honor you as a god, whereas if you fight without taking them, you may beat the battle back, but you will be not as held in like honor. And Achilles answered, Phoenix, well friend and father, I have no need of such honor. I have honor for Zeus himself, which will be abided me. Add my ships while I have breath in my body, my limbs are strong. I say further and lay my saying to your heart, vex me no more with this weeping and lamentation. All in the case of the son of Atreus, love him so well that he may lose the love I bear you. You ought to help me rather in troubling those that trouble me. Be king as much as I am, and share a life honor with myself. The others shall take my answer. Stay here yourself and sleep comfortably in your bed at daybreak. You will consider whether to remain or go. On this he nodded quietly to Patroclus as a sign that he was to be prepared to bed with Phoenix, and said that others should take their leave. Ajax, son of Telamon, then answered Odysseus, and noble son of Laertes, well, let us be gone, for I see that our journey is vain. We must now take our answer, unwelcome though it be, to the Danaans who are waiting to receive it. Achilles is savage and remorseless. He is cruel and cares nothing for the love of his comrades, lavish upon him more than all the others. He is implacable, and yet if a man's brother or son has been slain, he will accept a fine by way of amends from him that killed him, and the wrongdoer, having paid in full, remains in peace among his own people. But as for you, Achilles, the gods have put a wicked, unforgiving spirit in your hearts, and this all about one single girl, whereas we now offer you the 7 best we have, and much else into the bargain. Then be of most gracious mind. respect the hospitality of your own roof. We are with you as messengers from the host of the Danaans, and would fain be held nearest and dearest to yourself of all the Achaeans. Ajax replied, Achilles, noble son of Telamon, you have spoken much to my liking, but my blood boils when I think it all over, and remember how the son of Atreus treated me with continually as though I were some vile tramp. That too in the presence of the Argives. Go then and deliver your message. Say that I will have no concern with fighting till Hector, son of noble Priam, reaches the tents of the Myrmidons, and his murderous corpse and flings fire upon their ships. For all his lust of battle, I take it he will be held in check when he is at my own tent and ship. On this they took every man his double cup, made their drink offerings, and went back to the ships, Odysseus leading the way. But Patroclus told his men and maidservants to make ready a comfortable bed for Phoenix. They therefore did so with the sheepskins, a rug, and a sheet of fine linen. The old man then laid himself down and waited till morning came. But Achilles was left in an inner room, and beside him the daughter of Phorbas, lovely Diomed, whom he had carried off from Lesbos. Patroclus lay on the other side of the room, and with him fair Hypis, whom Achilles had given him when he took Scabrous, the city of Aeneas. When the envoys reached the tents of the son of Atreus, the Achaeans rose which them in cups of gold and began to question them. King Agamemnon was the first to do so. Tell me, Odysseus, said he, will he save the ships from burning, or did he refuse? And is he so furious? Odysseus answered, most noble son of Atreus, king of men Agamemnon, Achilles will not be calmed, that is, more fiercely angry than ever, and spurns both you and your gifts. He bids you take counsel of Achaeans to save the ships and host as you best may. As for himself, he said that at daybreak he should fly his ships into the water. He said further that he should advise everyone to sail from likewise, for that you will not reach the wall of Ilium. Zeus, he said, has laid his hand over the cities protected, and the people have taken heart. This is what he said, and others who were with me can tell you the same story. Ajax and the two heralds, men, both of them, who may be trusted, the old man Phoenix, stayed where he was asleep, for so Achilles would have it that he might go home with him in the morning if he so would, but he will not take him by force. They all held their peace, sitting for a long time silent and dejected by the reason of sternness with which Achilles had refused them. So presently Diomed said, most noble son of Atreus, king of men, Agamemnon, you ought not to have sued the son of Peleus or offered him gifts. He is proud enough as it is, and you have encouraged him in his pride. Still further let him stay, or go as he will find later when he is in the humor, and heaven puts it in his mind to do so. Now therefore let us all do as I say. We have eaten and drunk our fill, let us then take our rest, for in rest there is not both strength and stay. But when fair rosy-fingered morn appears forthwith, bring out your host and your horsemen in front of the ships, urging them on, and yourself fighting among the foremost. Thus he spoke, and all the other chieftains approved his words. They then made their drink offerings, and went every man to his own tent, where they lay down to rest and enjoyed the moon of sleep.